Basically, we're in a situation where at this moment in time, we cannot sign players in the window. That is due to the Football League, quite rightly, requiring source of sufficiency of funds from the owner. At the start of every season, this is for every club, if there's a projected loss, the owner has to sign up to providing that hiatus of funds, which Jason Whittingham would do at the start of the season. We have had, as you well know, well documented interest in the club, a sale process ongoing from Punjab Warriors. That is still ongoing. My understanding is all the information now that has been requested by the EFL has been provided this last week. They are going through that. Graham House and I had a meeting with the EFL yesterday. They were extremely helpful, and they've got to do their job. All that said, the situation with the ownership isn't resolved yet. It's an ongoing process. But because of that, certainly for the window and possibly now for the remainder, pledging funds for the remainder of the season, the Football League wouldn't accept an outside party putting further funds in, because that will be interpreted as undue influence. And I understand that absolutely fully. So it is down to Jason Whittingham, Bond Group, to provide these funds to enable Derek to strengthen the squad and sign players for Morecambe Football Club in this absolutely pivotal transfer window.
Is this an embargo in all but name?
We can use whatever words we want. Right now, we cannot sign a footballer until source and sufficiency of a particular amount of money has been provided that sees us through to the end of the season. So the two are combined. The transfer window and the ongoing requirement of the football club is combined. That's not saying we are in immediate jeopardy, because we're not. There has been investment over the past month. There has been equity purchased through Derek and the team. We've been successful with Football Fortune, with the cup run. We don't know at this moment in time what the revenue from Chelsea will be. We should know this week, but right now we don't know. But those funds, and we have got funds on deposit, are to sustain the football club and hopefully put something into the transfer budget as well. That was pledged to Derek back in December. A figure was mentioned, and we want to ensure that happens. But until all this is cleared with the EFL, we can't move it.
Derek, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult circumstance to be in, and I think that the board of directors want to really clarify to the supporters, and I think that's important, that they understand where we are as a football club at this moment in time. I've been in this situation before at the club, when 2 years ago we were promised extra funds. It never came about. It happened the day after the transfer window closed, and I was promised funds, for the January transfer window this year, and it hasn't come about. We've taken 2 players in, but the only reason we've been able to do that is that 2 players moved out, and I only found out really about this last night. Obviously knew there was a problem come Saturday, that we had a player, we've had 2 players that we've agreed loan deals with. Both have had to speak to the clubs last night and explain to them that that's not going to happen. And it's a difficult time for us, and it's a difficult time for me as a football manager, because we would like to strengthen, but I spoke to the chairman. I've shown my commitment to the football club. I'm happy to fight the battle, which it is. I never battle at this moment in time for us to get enough points to stay in the league, and we'll continue to do that.
You mentioned it before. The last time you could see trouble like this round the corner, you left, but you say you're committed to staying this time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I have to show my commitment to the club, and they have obviously committed to me. It is a difficult circumstance. It's not easy, but yes, my reputation is on the line. But this football club has helped me as a person, as a football manager as well, and I'm going to try my utmost to help through this difficult circumstance, and it's as difficult as it can be, but we're all going to pull together. We had a magnificent day at Chelsea. We had 3,000 supporters there. It's important the supporters understand the restrictions that we're under, and what that means is that you have to get behind us, which they are doing, and the players are working ever so hard. We're doing that as a coaching staff as well, and we understand that we have to get a number of positions higher in the league table to have league football next year.
Is it professionally embarrassing for you as a manager when you're dealing with clubs, you're arranging loans and signings, and then at the very last minute you've got to say, we can't do that?
Well, it is, because I've obviously been told that there's X amount going to be there. We've obviously had the cup runs, but I've obviously explained to the media in the past, and some people will have believed me, some people will think that I'm making excuses, but some people will have to start learning and listening that what I'm saying is true, and take the facts what I'm making out there. And but this football club has many good people running it, and people that are looking after it, and we've got supporters that are supporting us every week, players that are working ever so hard, and will continue. This is the squad that we've got now until the end of the season. Let's get on with it and fight the battle.
There'll be supporters saying this squad is trying ever so hard, but it's second bottom, and without recruitment there's no chance of survival.
I would disagree with that. It would help us if we did, that there is no doubt about it. We have players that are more than capable, players that have probably not hit their level yet, players that are more than capable of scoring goals. So it's up to us as a group to find the goals that were going to get us higher in the league, pick up more wins. But what I would say is that we've competed really well against a lot of the top teams, and we haven't been able to get the victories we probably deserve.
Rod, have you spoken to the owner?
Yes, I've spoken to him over the past couple of days and again today. There is an update. I mean, the club has issued a statement about 1:20 today, which is out there on the website and going out through the normal media outlets. That tells the story basically, but there is an addition to that story now, in that having spoken to the owner earlier on, he has now secured additional investment from a third party. I have seen the letter of a comfort that will go to the Football League, and also the wherewithal, i.e. the evidence of funds to back that up. Jason Whittingham will be putting that to the Football League today, and we hope for an early response. But we've got to be cognizant of, there's 72 members of the Football League. Morecambe isn't the only club, and a lot of people will be knocking on their door throughout this window. They can only do so much, but we're hoping for an early response, and if that is a positive response, then we can open that window again, and we can ensure that Derek is provided with the wherewithal to secure some signings. Trouble is,
Derek, the reality is players move on, don't they? They don't wait for you to find money and to get would-be embargoes lifted.
Yeah, that is true, and we obviously understand that, and the football club does as well. So we'll wait to find out what the situation is, and then we'll have to move after that.
Rod, it's payday next week, I understand. Is that okay? Will people be paid?
Absolutely no issues at all. There are no issues there. It's the back end of the fiscal year that we need the input from the owner, and hopefully this pledge today will sort that out. What I would say that we've got to, you asked Derek a question before, and I think it's a very valid question. football is a village, and I've said this many times, and it's individuals' credibility, whether it's Derek Adams, whether it's Mick Horton, who's been in the game for 30 odd years. It's about credibility and trust, and as a football club, we value that highly. And what, the calls Derek had to make last night regarding the player is, for me, it's unacceptable. He shouldn't be in that position having to do that. We've been badly let down. We want to progress, and I would say that in a situation of adversity, we've got to galvanise everybody in. We do that with the manager, with the players, with the staff, with the board, with the fans, and I want to really get that message out that is so important now. We need a change of ownership. We desperately need that. We need an owner that will care for this football club as we do, and the sooner that happens, the better. But I would urge everybody to get behind the football team on the pitch, Derek and Danny, and let's make our voices heard to try and help that process.
So pay's confirmed for this month, but do you have real fears for Morecambe reaching the end of the season if there's no input from the owner?
That's a very good question, Tim. I don't see that as a particular issue because of A, the information I've seen today, and B, whether the current prospective owners move along. Now, I can't guarantee either of those, but from what I've seen, that is encouraging. As
a board, do you think you could have done more to this point?
Oh, you're finding some really good questions, Tim. That is a difficult one. Could we have done more? We've come out there into the open a couple of times now, and again today, and stated our case. We don't own the football club. The deal to sell Morecambe Football Club is Jason Whittingham's and Bond Group. If we were selling it, I think we'd be in a different position. If it was a situation where have the right lines of communication been open all the time? No, I don't believe they have. I think if we had been allowed to be closer to the process, it would have been resolved by now. I think that various prospective purchasers over that period of time maybe haven't been given a clear picture, and people who don't know football, and I mean that with the greatest respect, it is a totally different business to the norm. We've got great expertise around this table, and we could have helped that process massively if we had been engaged with that process.
So that's the owner not letting you close enough to that process, is that what you're saying?
I think so, yes.
Derek, how on earth do you motivate players going into a massive game at the weekend with all this going on?
Yeah, there's no problem there. The players are unaffected by this. This issue is for taking in new players in January. The issue doesn't affect the current playing staff. We have trained well today. They are unaware of the situation because they don't need to be aware of the situation because it is to do with new income for new players.
Do you feel let down? Rod said he feels let down.
Listen, I'm not going to go down that route because I left the last time because of that, and this time, I feel that I've got to get on with it. I've probably changed as a person, good or bad, I don't know, but I think that it's an unlevel playing field, and there's many people out there, sports correspondents, football managers, football clubs, don't understand the issues that we have as a football club. And it used to be in the day that other football clubs would look after you. It doesn't happen anymore. It's a business, and everyone's got to abide by financial fair play, and there's no such thing as a free loan anymore.
Rod, is the threat of points deductions or administration closer today as a result of something like this?
My own thoughts on that is no. I don't see where the points deduction would figure. We know about the suspended 2 points. I don't think that's in the frame at the moment. Administration isn't an issue right now. We have got money in the bank. We've got money in the deposit account that we'll look after to maintain the sustainability over the next few months. just taking up Derek's point about the window a couple of years ago, we were a League One club then. Derek was promised in front of club directors by an outside body, he was promised a massive amount of money for that window. It didn't materialise. He got a fraction of that pledged. I think it was either the day or the day after the window closed. Had that money been forthcoming, we ended up 1 point adrift. 1 point. Had those funds come through, I have no doubt in my mind that we would still be a League One club. No doubt at all. And by not fulfilling those obligations, the value of the owner's asset was seriously damaged. This isn't a plaything. This means a lot to a lot of people. The football club is the heart of the community. I'm absolutely passionate about that, and I do feel Derek's been let down. I think we've all been let down. I think the supporters have been let down. But right now, and I'm repeating myself, right now, it's all of us, the whole Morecambe football community, coming together, making sure we back the team on the pitch, and Derek 100%. Forget Jason. It is impervious to that sort of criticism. Let's be positive.
You can't forget the owner. Can you?
I'm saying out there publicly, because it's an absolute waste of breath. We don't want negatives. We've got to ensure that we're galvanised in this adverse situation, and we do our best to encourage the guys on the pitch to do a job. You know, going back to last Saturday, we were the better team last Saturday. We're playing the second in the league. There was nothing in that game at all, apart from they had one chance, we had a few and didn't put it in the net. The gaffer needs to sign a striker. We all know that. So we've got to work our socks off to get to that ultimate goal. And hopefully the owner will come through with the wherewithal today.
The value of the asset dropped from League One to League Two. It will drop again even more if you lose your EFL status. Surely any spending in January would have made that less likely. The prospect of relegation from League Two is more likely as a consequence of today.
Absolutely. Although I would say, as Derek said, we have got a good squad. I don't think we've had a rub of the green. And look, it's not about luck, but there are football fortunes, aren't there, on and off the pitch. I still think it's a decent squad. I think it's a very together squad. In my time as a director over the last 31 years, I think it's as good a squad from the point of view internally as I've seen. The spirit's there, amazingly, because they could have knocked down tools, but the mood could be in the boots, and it's not like that. They are very together. We've just got to ensure, hopefully, we can pull this off this week and reinstate the situation of getting Derek some money for the window.
So to sum up, as things stand, the promised money from Koljeet Singh Momi and the hundreds of thousands of pounds from Chelsea, none of that could be spent on the playing squad.
We have got to, the Football League, have to be assured and reassured that the owner will provide the wherewithal to get to the end of the season. He's got to bridge that hiatus in the budget that he signed off. That budget has been improved dramatically by investment and by the cup runs. That money is secure, and that sustains the club from now going forward. The transfer window budget is in amongst all this, and it is in amongst the figure that we are asking the owner to produce now. It's integrated.
But at the moment, none of that money can be spent for Derek strengthening his squad until things change.
It can't be spent because the Football League quite rightly say you've got to show your sustainability going through to the end of the season. And without that, your words embargo, we cannot register a player.
What do you say then to the many Morecambe fans listening to this, watching this, who will be absolutely terrified about the prospect of the future of this club, not just relegation, but existential threat?
I share that concern, although people are, what should I say, they're hungry for information. And sometimes, as an official of the club, as a director of the club, you can't go out there and show it all. It would be impossible. You can't work like that. Social media dictates that to us now, doesn't it? People jump on things every day. 2 and 2 makes half a dozen. You can't say everything. I'm being I won't tell lies for anybody. I'm being as honest as I can be, as the gaffer has been, giving you as much information as I can, but I cannot put everything out there. I would say we have to work very hard now to make sure of that sustainability, and the best way that can happen is by the owner committing to selling to somebody with the wherewithal who will look after this football club.
And Derek, finally, what you have is what you've got. I guess that's a mindset you've got to have until things change.
Yeah, of course, and comfortable in that because that's where we are at this moment in time. I can't change that. I have to, continue working hard with the players that we have, and they are continuing to work hard. They're a great group. I've been able to get them working together, and I'm sure they'll continue to improve, and we'll move up this Football League.